Whiteout conditions cause problems for drivers across the state, but there's a new threat on the way. Coming up, how single-digit temps could impact your day.
Yesterday, we did have some lake-enhanced snow showers. Now things are drying out, but it is bitter cold. I'll have the details.
There's still that little hope. We can always hope that somehow, somewhere, someday, he'll be found and he'll be safe and fine. But
Plus, honoring the life of a missing baby, how strangers are coming together today to pray for baby Delano Wilson.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News Sunrise starts now.
Good morning and welcome to Sunrise. Time now 6 o'clock. I'm Naomi Peskovitz here with Kelly Green. Gosh, it is a freezing, frigid day out there. We started it yesterday. More to come. Right.
Temperatures have been falling since yesterday morning, and they are continuing to fall. It is a bitter cold start across central Indiana. We've had the clouds that have thinned out, so that has allowed temperatures to really fall across the area. And we'll see them thickening back up again a little bit later on today. But in the meantime, a pretty quiet start across central Indiana. Still some lake-enhanced snow showers across northern Indiana at this hour. But check this out. This is really the main story. The 24-hour temperature difference. It's 25 degrees colder right now than yesterday at this time. 27 degrees colder in Rensselaer, 25 in Lebanon. So bitter cold conditions this morning. Temperatures have been falling into the single digits. It's currently 5 in Kokomo, 3 degrees in Lafayette, 5 degrees in Greensburg, and also just 4 degrees in Bloomington. Wind chill values also significant this morning, running 11 degrees below zero in Indianapolis, 12 degrees below zero in Lafayette. So just a blustery start this morning. A wind chill advisory continues until mid-morning all across central Indiana. Temperatures today will only climb into the low teens. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds. That will be some good news. We are also tracking a chance of snow. I'll have those details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast. Naomi?
Kelly, thank you. I-69 in Delaware County is back open after a massive pileup shut the interstate down for hours yesterday. The chain reaction crash happened around 12:30, and witnesses say traffic was stopped because of blowing snow when a semi crashed into the back of a school bus from Allen County. None of the kids were injured, but the bus driver was taken to the hospital. At least 3 others in the pileup were also injured, but no one was seriously hurt. This was one of 3 pileups in Indiana yesterday caused by whiteout conditions. Each involved at least 20 vehicles. Whiteout conditions also caused a crash in Elkhart County that shut down the toll road. At least 5 vehicles were involved. Elkhart County is one of several counties in northern Indiana that have issued travel watches. That means weather conditions threaten public safety and only essential travel is recommended. More than a dozen other counties you can see here have travel advisories, and that means routine travel may be restricted in some areas. Those include Hancock, Tipton, Madison, and Delaware counties. We have a link to the travel warning map on WTHR.com. And remember, you can keep track of the weather in your own city. Download the SkyTrack 13 weather app. You'll get live alerts, weather updates, and personal forecasts. It's a free download in the Apple and Google Play app stores. Schools around central Indiana are already scheduling snow makeup days. This Tuesday was initially scheduled as a flex day for Hamilton Southeastern schools, but class will be back in session because of snow days from last month. HSE will be closed tomorrow in honor of President's Day. And while teachers are off work tomorrow for President's Day, many are expected to rally at the State House in support of State School Superintendent Glenda Ritz. A proposal now awaiting the vote of the full Senate could shift control away from Ritz. The bill would allow the State Board of Education to choose its own leader, a position that Ritz currently holds. The rally to support public education is planned for tomorrow at 2 o'clock inside the State House atrium. There will be a gathering today to honor a 6-week-old baby. It's been almost 6 months since baby Delano Wilson disappeared. His father, Willie Wilson, is behind bars this morning, charged with murdering the infant, even though his body has never been found. Now there are plans to honor the child from strangers. Here's Sunrise reporter Emily Longnecker with what's planned today to mark his young life.
Well, the story of missing baby Delano Wilson certainly has captured a lot of hearts. Some folks are so moved by it that they plan to release balloons here tomorrow at Garfield Park in the missing baby's honor.
You could see the link to the site, Prayers for Delano.
She's expecting her 4th child in a few months, but this is the baby Becky Knuckles thinks about and has every day since he disappeared. Little Delano Wilson.
I think just being a mom, being a human, period, it hurts your heart, but being a mom makes it cuts that much more deep.
Knuckles has followed the case since the 6-week-old disappeared, and even though his body hasn't been found, the baby's father, Willie Wilson, has been charged with his murder.
With the recent information and not knowing if his body will ever be recovered, we just want to give that baby some sort of peace. We've got these.
So that's why Knuckles has organized a balloon release for baby Delano.
We have a group on Facebook, Prayers for Delano Wilson, and we've got members that go as far as the UK, all over Florida, California, Washington, everywhere. And
Knuckles hasn't had contact with Delano's family, but says the group is meant to honor a baby they've never met, but care about nonetheless.
Personally, as a mother, if it was me and my baby missing, I wouldn't care what people thought of me. I would just be glad to know that so many people out there care and want to bring them home. There's still that little hope. We can always hope that somehow, somewhere, someday he'll be found and he'll be safe and fine. But if he's not, it just keeps going, and he deserves some kind of peace. If he's in the arms of Jesus, he deserves a little peace, and he deserves to know people cared.
The balloon release starts here tomorrow at 3:30. Meanwhile, little baby Delano's family plans to have their own vigil on the 27th. Emily Longnecker, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Emily, thank you. Also happening today, a fundraiser for a local high school girls basketball coach who collapsed from a heart attack in the middle of a game. Perry Meridian coach Howard Ely collapsed on January 28th with less than 30 seconds to go in the game against Cathedral. An athletic trainer grabbed the defibrillator in the gym and jump-started Ely's heart before he was rushed away in an ambulance. There's a fundraiser to help the Ely family with medical bills today at Teddy's Burger Joint on Southport Road. It's from 11 o'clock until 9 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, the Indy 11 soccer team could be one step closer to having their own stadium. Last month, the team unveiled plans for an $82 million stadium, but they need some help footing the bill here. Tomorrow, they will take their proposal to the House Ways and Means Committee, asking to use a tax on tickets and concessions at their stadium to help pay for the venue. Besides soccer, it could also be used for lacrosse, field hockey, and concerts. The team says they want to keep it downtown. And it was a special Valentine's Day for two Indy Fuel fans. The team hosted a proposal and a wedding ceremony all on the ice. Can you imagine? Scott Keene surprised his new bride, Connie, by having her play a game during halftime. So she thinks there are two other women walking with her here across the ice to get to the other side, blindfolded, of course, to find Scott. But when the blindfold comes off there, she was surprised with a proposal and a wedding.
I now pronounce you a husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Well, that was quick. After the kiss, she got a new personalized Indy Fuel jersey. You can see there on the back it says,
"Oh my gosh,
Mrs. Keene."
That is adorable.
Very cute, right? And you could maybe expect a proposal, but then to be followed up right away with a wedding.
It's fantastic. And she's like scooting out there on the ice, blindfolded, has no idea what's going on, and then she gets engaged and married.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes when people try and do these surprises, you can kind of tell that they know what's going on.
She had no clue.
Clueless.
Yeah.
Totally clueless.
I love it.
Well, it's going to be a cold day today. I mean, we are in February, but this is colder than average.
Right, and we're going to see temperatures continuing to run about 15 to 20 degrees below average. Looks like through the extended forecast. I'll have those details coming up in just a few minutes, but check out our weather bug temperatures this morning. It is 5 degrees in Paragon, 4 in Bloomington, 3 degrees in Greensburg, and just 4 in Muncie. I'll let you know how warm it will get today coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
Plus, breaking overnight, new information about the suspect in 2 deadly shootings in Denmark, how police were able to catch up with the gunman. Plus, did you run into problems with the government health insurance website this weekend? The glitch that prevented some from signing up ahead of today's deadline. Welcome back. Breaking overnight, Danish police say they have killed the man believed to be responsible for 2 shootings in Copenhagen. The attacks happened outside a synagogue and a cafe. 2 people died. 5 police officers were hurt. The cafe was hosting a controversial Swedish artist who had been threatened with death because of his cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad. Police were investigating both as possible acts of terrorism. This comes just more than a month after the attacks on a French satirical magazine, Charlie Hebdo, that left 12 people dead. A private memorial for veteran CBS News reporter Bob Simon is planned for Tuesday at New York's Metropolitan Opera House. Representatives from CBS News and the Met say the service is intended for family and close friends. There will, however, be a larger public service later on. Simon died Wednesday in a car crash in New York City. He was 73. And we now know what killed New York Times media columnist David Carr. Autopsy results released this weekend show complications from lung cancer and heart disease were both contributing causes of death. Carr collapsed at the newspaper's headquarters in New York City and died on Thursday. He was 58 years old. Well, western Pennsylvania was hit by snow squalls yesterday.
Yes, and there were near whiteout conditions. They caused several accidents, including a multi-car accident on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt, and like much of the Northeast, wind chill values were well below zero, they are now moving into Pittsburgh after the Valentine's Day snow. Today, high temperatures will be in the single digits.
Wow. And I had to look up that word, squalls. What is a snow squall?
Well, it's a little bit complicated, but we see these when they are developing into heavier snow bands that we see that are moving over the same area over and over again.
Wow, okay, so we're having some snow potentially this week, but nothing quite like that.
We are looking at the possibility of some accumulating snow in south central Indiana, possibly as far north as Indianapolis. Wow. The latest models have been pushing it a little bit farther north, so it's something for us to continue to monitor. But in the meantime, today, the main story is going to be the wind chill values. We had a dry overnight, thank goodness. The lake effect snow machine has really shut down, and we have the clouds that have cleared out. That has allowed the skies to really allow those temperatures to fall. We're down to 4 degrees right now in Indianapolis, 5 in Kokomo, 3 degrees in Lafayette, 3 degrees in Crawfordsville, and 5 degrees right now in Greensburg. Wind chill values running below zero in many locations this morning, feeling like 11 below zero in Indianapolis. Mostly clear skies right now, but we still have those breezy winds out of the west-northwest at 10 miles per hour with the air temperature of just 4 degrees at the Indianapolis airport. It will be a bitter cold day today. A winter weather advisory goes into effect across south central Indiana a little bit later on tonight. I'll have more details on that in just a moment. But wind chill values will be running below zero throughout the day today. We do have a chance of snow later tonight into Monday, and frigid temperatures will push back in again by the middle of the week, and temperatures will be running 15 to 20 below normal. Now here's a look at future track 13. Starting the timeline at 10 o'clock this morning, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds today. It will be a mainly dry day before we start to see a few of those snow showers starting to push in a little bit late tonight. Here's a look at your SkyTrack 13 forecast for this afternoon. Temperatures will be struggling to climb into the low teens this afternoon with light breezes out of the northeast from about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on this evening, we'll see the clouds really thickening up as this area of low pressure scoots across the Ohio River Valley. That will be a southern system, so we'll start to see the potential of some snow showers across southern Indiana later on tonight during the overnight hours. Better chances will push in as we head into tomorrow afternoon. A winter weather advisory, though, does go into effect at 7 o'clock tonight for our southern viewing area. That does include Bloomington, Columbus, Seymour, and Bedford. And tonight, temperatures will fall to around 3 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, and those wind chill values will stay below zero. Here's a look at future track tomorrow morning into the afternoon. Notice we'll start to see widespread snow starting to push in by early afternoon. Along that I-70 corridor, could see around 1 to 3 inches of snow, and then possibly 2 to 4 inches in our southern viewing area. So keep that in mind. Keep checking back with us for the latest. Sean Ash will have more details tonight, and of course Chuck and Nicole will tomorrow. Temperatures today climbing to 12 degrees, and then we start to see more of that frigid cold temperatures arriving by the middle of the week. Naomi?
Kelly, thank you. Topping the health beat this morning, if you tried to sign up for health insurance under the Affordable Care Act this weekend, you may have run into problems. But federal officials say that a technical problem that's been interfering with signups has now been fixed. Today is the deadline to get health insurance or pay a fine. As NBC's Tracy Potts tells us, millions of Americans who lost jobs in the past year and don't qualify for Medicaid or Medicare are trying to figure out now how to beat that deadline.
Oh, this is the last name. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Last year, this 30-year-old Maryland woman had health insurance through work, but she left that job. Now she's trying to find a plan through her state health exchange.
I needed to be covered, but then not about the penalty.
The penalty's more this year, $325 per person or 2% of your income if you're under 65 and not covered by your employer, Medicare, or Medicaid. About 28 million people are eligible for coverage under the Affordable Care Act. So far, only about a third have signed up. Experts say don't just renew last year's policy. There could be a better plan for you.
It really depends on where you live and which plan you bought last year. So it could be that your plan went up quite a bit or even down quite a bit. And so for that reason, it's important to shop around.
That's because prices have changed. In Anchorage, Alaska, a 40-year-old non-smoker making $30,000 a year pays $100 more a month for a silver plan. That's before federal tax credits kick in. In Jackson, Mississippi, that same person would save more than $100 a month.
The plan that looks the cheapest on the surface may not actually be the least expensive if you need to use a lot of health care.
Health navigators say they're seeing big crowds with just this weekend left to enroll. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
Tracy, thank you. It was a Valentine's Day to remember for one Indiana couple. Up next on Sunrise, the unique way they decided to tie the knot this weekend. And since the 50s, it's been a favorite place to eat. Next in What's Cooking, Julia Moffat explains why the food at one Anderson restaurant has people coming back for decades. Welcome back. This Valentine's Day, certainly one that an Indiana couple will not soon forget. They were married yesterday at White Castle.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. Michael, you may kiss the bride.
Megan and Michael Duncan won a Radio Now contest to say their vows at a White Castle wedding. The couple met in college 3 years ago, and yesterday the Indianapolis restaurant on South Street closed down for the ceremony. This is one of 8 White Castle weddings happening this Valentine's weekend.
It's been really nice just being able to come, and everything was ready for us. We didn't have to do a whole lot of advanced planning, and that was pretty great. And I married my best friend.
Sweet to see them dancing there too. The couple will also soon welcome a baby boy. They say another moment that made the wedding so special was being able to share some of their extra food with a homeless man who was sleeping outside. Cool. And now it's all on videotape. It'll be everywhere because everyone's talking about it. Right. So they didn't have to pay a videographer. Nice. Yeah,
congratulations to them. Burgers and fries are on the menu for this week's What's Cooking.
Oh, I'm hungry. Sunrise anchor Julia Moffett traveled to Anderson to visit the famous Lemon Drop to learn why customers have been raving about the food since the 50s.
The Lemon Drop has been serving customers here in Anderson for well over 50 years, and really not much has changed from that bright yellow brick exterior to the prices, even what Bill is cooking up on the griddle.
We're not fancy, we're just good. We like it to be nostalgia for people to come back and know it's going to be just like it was when they left.
So it was the train and the free lemons.
Oh, it's a good food. I've been coming here since I had hair.
How many people can you fit in here? Full seating for 300, 27 at a time.
Yeah, 27 at a time.
I just love the rhythm of the clickety-clack. The onion burgers, yeah, best thing.
Take me right back to the track, Jack.
So this is the famous onion hamburger that I've heard so much about.
It's 2 patties of meat with onions that we've placed inside of it, which is delicious.
Choo choo.
All that goodness cooked right inside.
Actually, it's probably going to be the best burger you've had in your life, and I had somebody tell us that about once a week.
Put me right back in the rack, Jack.
That's Peyton Manning. When Luck was sitting here, he said, hey, he said, you don't have a picture of me up there. And I was here cooking, so I just said, hey, you got to prove yourself first.
And we were looking for the perfect tenderloin, and we found it right here.
And you say do it high quality, and it keeps them coming in the door?
Absolutely. High quality is the way to go. Quality never goes out of style. Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that. Very good.
Take me right back to the track, Jack.
I've never been there.
No, I haven't either, but that breaded tenderloin looks fantastic.
Looks very good. And people have been going there for decades, so it must have something worth coming back to. All right, well, still coming up in the next half hour of Sunrise, it is the reunion show so many of us have been waiting for. Why the current cast of Saturday Night Live is so excited for today's 40th anniversary special.
And it is a cold start across central Indiana. At least the snow has come to an end for now, but we are tracking another chance of snow and bitter cold temperatures return in your SkyTrack 13 forecast. And we're starting off dry but bitter cold this morning. I'll let you know how warm it will get today, plus our next chance of snow.
And we aren't the only ones with weather problems this morning. Coming up, how Boston is bracing for another 2 feet of snow today.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News at Sunrise continues.
Good morning to you once again. Welcome back to Sunrise. We first want to show you right now a live look out of Boston this morning. Another round of snow is expected there today. Some areas in southern New England are under a blizzard warning and expecting up to 14 inches of snow. An army of road crews, emergency workers, all could face a losing battle against the vicious weather again today. More than 6 feet of snow from previous storms. You can imagine making things pretty difficult out there this morning. At least not a lot of cars on the road. That's definitely a good sign, but it is so hard to believe they are going to get yet another round.
Yes, I know they were encouraging people just to stay at home, stay off the roads. It's hard to do.
When you have to be somewhere, maybe go to work like us. So yeah, they have more coming. For us, more cold coming.
That's right. And we are dealing with wind chill values that are dangerously cold this morning, so you want to make sure that you dress appropriately in layers today. We've had the skies clear out quite a bit, and that has allowed temperatures to really tumble. We had that area of low pressure that brought that Arctic front yesterday, so we still have some light lake effect snow showers in extreme northern Indiana, but it is the temperature change that is the most significant story this morning. It is running 25 degrees colder right now in Peru than yesterday at this time, 26 degrees colder in Shelbyville. So significantly colder as temperatures fall into the single digits all across central Indiana. It's currently 5 in Greensburg, 3 degrees in Crawfordsville, and 3 in Lafayette. Wind chill values making it feel like it is 10 or more below zero, and definitely significant with those breezy winds. They're starting to die down quite a bit, but we still have a wind chill advisory that's in effect for all of central Indiana through mid-morning, and that is because we'll see those wind chill values running from 10 to 20 below zero. Temperatures this afternoon climbing into the low teens, so not going to see much of a warm up today. A little bit warmer for tomorrow, but we're tracking snow. I'll have the details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast. Naomi?
And that cold Kelly mentioned, also dangerous. You can see temperatures right now in the single digits across Indianapolis. The Wheeler Mission is opening its doors to everyone so they can come in out of the cold. Sunrise reporter Matt McCutcheon joins us live there now with more on the plan, Matt, to keep everyone warm.
That's right, Naomi. Good morning. Just being out here for a few minutes, I can tell you from personal experience, it's definitely a day to bundle up. I myself have on 3 layers of pants. I've got on a jacket, a scarf. I've got on, I think, 3 hats. And in addition to that, I've got on 2 different sweaters here, which you can't really see because I've got them all my different layers in the way. It's that cold out here. You stand here for just a second and it definitely grabs you. Joining us this morning is Jamal Hyde here with the Wheeler Mission. Good morning to you. You yourself aren't wearing as many layers and you're fine with that.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with I'm kind of used to being out here with the guys, talking to them and making sure they're inside the building, so it doesn't really bother me.
What's changing here inside for Wheeler Mission when it gets to be so drastically and dramatically cold?
Well, we're not turning anyone away. We encourage them to come into the building as quick as possible. With the temperatures dipping as fast as they are, we don't want anybody suffering from frostbite or hypothermia. We want them inside where it's warm and they can get the proper care that they need, and also keep them out of the cold.
Right now, I know the guys inside are having breakfast. Are you seeing an increase in numbers today?
Yes, a large increase. We're at the capacity almost, but we still have room for everyone else to get into the building.
And you just recently expanded, so you have additional room here at your Market Street facility.
Right, and we are enjoying that extra space. As a matter of fact, it's made it a lot easier to house more people. That way we can get more people off the street and out of the cold.
And lastly, you guys are kind of being proactive. You're not just waiting for people to come to you.
That's correct. Yes. We're actually going out to get them off the streets. A lot of them would like to hang out a little bit longer or stay out there and just see if they can brave the cold. We're encouraging them to come in quickly because when the temperatures drop, you have no chance of getting in fast enough. And some of them aren't walking or moving as fast as they used to, so we like to kind of speed the process along.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. There you have it. They're really trying to get people to come in out of the cold because it is unpleasant. I myself will be heading right inside myself to get warm. Reporting live, Matt McCutcheon, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Inside and get warm, and we'll check back with you in a bit, but there is no rest for snow-weary New England as yet Another storm takes aim now.
That's right. Some parts of the region could see an additional 2 feet of snow. And as you can see, we are tracking snow that's going to be very heavy across New England. Another 6 to 12 inches of snow will be possible. And we're looking at blizzard conditions.
Wow.
And so they're going to see winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour, blowing and drifting snow, as well as reduced visibility. So just some nasty conditions out there. Temperatures are expected to plunge, and Dan Shenneman has the latest. Wow.
The snow began falling Saturday evening in New England, just the start of what forecasters say could be a historic winter storm for the region. Earlier in the day, trucks loaded up and headed out to position much-needed sand and salt ahead of the storm as winter-weary residents got ready for yet another round of Mother Nature's worst.
Hope this is the last storm for the year.
The snow already caused major problems as the storm system moved eastward.
It was wide out. You couldn't see nothing.
Nearly 24 vehicles crashed on Indiana's I-69.
Everybody got hit hard.
And near Erie, Pennsylvania, a 107-car pileup along I-90. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. Forecasters say the storm's biggest punch will come Sunday, bringing dangerous blizzard conditions and extremely cold wind chills to millions.
I'm tired of wearing big puffer coats.
From frigid New York to Boston.
Can't stress this enough. I'm going to say it again. Please stay off the roads late tonight and all day tomorrow.
With a chance at a record second blizzard in the same winter.
I don't think anybody's going to be talking about the blizzard of '78 anymore. It's now about 2015.
3 consecutive snowstorms, week after week after week. So it's been like a jab, 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 and now it's like the right hook.
A 1, 2, 3, and now 4th punch to the region. Dan Shenneman, NBC News.
Dan, thank you. New information this morning on a deadly shooting in Indianapolis. Police say 49-year-old Robert Rinnard was found shot to death Friday night on the north side. The victim is from West Virginia, and right now police have no suspects. The shooting happened in the 1200 block of West 32nd Street. A 5-year-old Indiana girl has died after being shot in the face. It happened in Fort Wayne around 10 o'clock Friday night. Police believe the little girl was shot when a gun accidentally discharged, but investigators are still working that case this morning. The child was taken to the hospital in critical condition where she later died. Firefighters say an Indianapolis man house sitting at a home on North Keystone Avenue woke up to a fire. The man had been smoking when he fell asleep on the couch. He woke up to find the couch burning. The man and 2 others were able to escape. Damage is estimated now at $50,000. Police are searching for a stolen truck taken from a family traveling to get cancer treatment for their daughter. The family was on their way from Pennsylvania to California. They stopped at the Baymont Inn and Suites in Plainfield and woke up to find their truck gone. The toughest part for the family was losing what was inside that truck.
After speaking with the mother today, Ms. Griffin stated that every single picture that she had of her daughter, Nevaeh, was on that hard drive. So she has 0 pictures of her daughter, who's fighting bone cancer now. And then all their clothes, the kids had maybe 2 pairs of clothes left in a little bag that they'd carried up to the hotel room.
When word spread of the stolen truck, calls of support came from people in Plainfield and surrounding communities. The family has now set up a GoFundMe site. We have more information on WTHR.com. And here's a description of that stolen truck. It's a white 2000 Ford F-250 diesel 4x4 crew cab. It has a Pennsylvania plate, ZGM1239. If you see it, call Plainfield Police. Kelly Green back with me now to talk about your Sunday forecast. We're wrapping up a very chilly Valentine's Day weekend.
Yes. Yesterday was pretty miserable across the area with that very strong gusty winds and the snow showers. We are dry though right now across live Doppler 13 radar. Today you just have to deal with bitter cold temperatures and wind chill values running below 0. I'll have the details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
And we know so many of you are excited for tonight's 3.5-hour Saturday Night Live. Kelly and I, though, will show you some of our favorite moments from the show's 40-year run.
Fuzzy about his role as a televangelist.
Welcome back. Time now is 6:41, and NBC's Saturday Night Live celebrates its 40th anniversary tonight with a 3.5-hour special.
I am really excited about this. We're going to see cast members and hosts from past. They were going to be reuniting for this live event, and that show has really the current cast all jazzed up.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night!
Most of the current cast of SNL wasn't even born
Live from New York, it's Saturday night!
when the series started in 1975.
It's surreal. The entire experience has been surreal.
They're just the newest members of an ever-changing cast of characters through the show's history.
Every time a cast member leaves, it's like, how will the show survive? But it always does.
Cast members that are fueling today's laughs
She's all about that bass, no talent.
grew up worshiping the cast members from yesteryear.
When I graduated high school, I thought Will Ferrell was the funniest human being alive.
I did tape the show every week, and then I would go back the next day with my notebook and I would transcribe portions of the sketches, and I really memorized them.
The memories will blend tonight as multiple generations of SNL cast come together for a 40th anniversary celebration.
To see Kristen Wiig, shake hands with Dan Aykroyd, and that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about the melting pot version of it.
The special will offer classic clips.
Here's some flexibility for you.
But emphasize all new sketches, in some cases mixing performers from different casts.
If you watch the 40th and I'm there performing on it, watch my eyes, because I'm sure they'll just be as big as saucers.
I hope I can rise to the occasion because it's just unbelievable.
Tonight promises an all-new batch of SNL memories. Mark Barger, NBC News.
Well, tonight there is a red carpet special hosted by the Today Show team. It starts at 7 o'clock Eastern, followed by a 3.5-hour main event. So it was originally supposed to be 3 hours, but they have so much to cover. The producers asked for an extra 30 minutes, and they got it, of course. I'm sure you have your own special moment from SNL over the years.
I do. I actually grew up watching SNL as a kid. My parents would let us stay up during the summer late, and I'm sure we didn't understand a lot of it, but I definitely grew up watching Saturday Night Live, and one of my favorites was the church lady.
Oh, yes. This is awesome.
My first guest is the Reverend Pat Robertson, a former Christian broadcaster.
So the church lady, this one was from at least a decade old, right?
Oh my gosh, yes, for sure. And Dana Carey is still one of my favorites. He's just so funny. The line, well, isn't that special? We used to go around the house saying that all the time.
We've been quoting it all morning long. Okay, so this is one of my favorite moments. It's the lovers scene. They talk about lavas in the hot tub, and the hot tub is how Will Ferrell says it. It's great. I watched it several times this morning, and I find myself laughing at my desk, and they laugh too. That's why this one is so great, because the cast members, there's Drew Barrymore, they can't even hold it together during the skit because it's so funny. Some of it inappropriate, but worth a watch if you haven't seen it in a couple of years. It's one of my very favorites in the hot tub.
Yes, that was actually on last night's episode.
Did they re-air it?
Yeah.
I was asleep last night. But today will be a good night to stay home and watch the SNL reunion and snuggle up with a blanket. It's going to be freezing.
It is going to be another cold day to wrap up your Valentine's Day weekend. We do have dry conditions right now across Live Doppler 13 radar. That is the good news, since we had those blustery conditions yesterday with the blowing snow, bringing down visibilities. We had the skies really clear out overnight, so that has helped temperatures really tumble down into the single digits right now at 5 degrees in Kokomo, 4 in Muncie, 4 degrees in Bloomington, and 5 degrees in Greensburg, and wind chill values right now running below 0, 11 degrees below 0 in Indianapolis, 9 below in Kokomo, 9 below right now in Muncie. And we do have a few clouds around, but it is the wind that is going to be significant this morning out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour. Air temperature at 4. Feeling like 11 below. Now, wind chill values will remain below 0 despite the fact that wind chill advisory will expire. But we do have also a chance of some snow a little bit later on tomorrow. Frigid temperatures will return by midweek, and we're also tracking temperatures that will continue to run 15 to 20 below normal for this time of year. Here's a look at future track 13. Pretty quiet for the most part today. We'll see the clouds filtering back in again as we head into the afternoon, but it's just going to be a cold day. Temperatures this afternoon only climbing into the low teens. Winds will be out of the northeast from 5 to 10 miles per hour, high of just 12. And again, those wind chill values will still be running below zero. As we head into the later hours this evening, we'll start to see more of those clouds moving in. An area of low pressure will drift across the Ohio River Valley. So there is a potential of a few light snow showers in southern Indiana. I think for the most part, they'll hold off until later on, late tomorrow morning into the afternoon. We do have a winter weather advisory that goes into effect at 7 p.m. tonight for our southern viewing area, including Bloomington, Columbus, Greensburg, as well as Bedford and Seymour. That will continue through tomorrow evening as we have the potential of some snow. Temperatures will fall to 3 degrees tonight, mostly cloudy, and wind chill values will still be below zero. Now, as we head into tomorrow late morning, I think we start to see a better chance of those snow showers developing. Here's a look at future track at 9:30. The clouds around. We'll start to see some snow showers moving into Bedford, Seymour tomorrow morning. And then as we head into the afternoon, this system will start to drift a little bit farther to the north. So I do think Indianapolis has the potential of seeing a few light snow showers, mainly by late afternoon into the early evening. So we're going to continue to monitor this for you, but maybe around 1 to 3 inches of snow along that I-70 corridor. But areas to the south, Bloomington, Columbus, Seymour, Bedford could see around 2 to 4 inches of snow. Temperatures this afternoon climbing to just 12 degrees, falling to 3 tomorrow morning. High of 22 on Monday. Chances of snow Monday, especially by late morning through the afternoon. Dry for Tuesday, but we do have a chance of more snow on Wednesday, and those frigid conditions return. Naomi?
Kelly, thank you. We have a love story to share with you on this Valentine's Day weekend. It's about an Indiana couple who received a life-saving gift from a stranger. Moss and Joan Sato are grateful to have this chapter of their love story. Yes. In 2006, they were in church when Moss went into cardiac arrest. He had no idea he had an autoimmune disease that caused it. He needed a heart transplant. A few months after getting on the list, they got a call about a donor.
For us, it meant that we had a chance, a good chance, and we could have a future and plan again. But our hearts were very heavy for the donor family.
We are forever grateful to this new heart, which has given us a second chance at life.
More than 120,000 Americans are waiting for transplants. 1,500 of them live right here in Indiana. You can sign up to become a donor on WTHR.com. Well, if you missed the NBA Slam Dunk Contest, don't worry. We have the highlights coming up next. Stay with us for that dunk that everyone will be talking about today.
And I'm Jason Spells. Coming up, a top 25 showdown between Butler and Villanova. Highlights, and we take you inside the locker room coming up next.
Now, Eyewitness Sports.
Good morning. A week's worth of hype and the Battle of the Big East lived up to every moment of it. Number 6 Villanova, number 18 Butler, the top spot in the conference on the line last night. Whiteout conditions inside Hinkle Fieldhouse. The city we all know has been waiting a long time for this one. Nova and the Dogs would trade leads throughout the game. The final couple of seconds, 17 seconds ago, Roosevelt Jones with the layup ties the game up at 65. Kellen Dunham, Alex Barlow with 19 apiece. Dogs thinking overtime, Wildcats thinking Darren. As in Darren Hilliard, three-pointer, career high 31 for him. 8 3-pointers, Nova up 3 with 1 second to go. Most teams go for the heave. An incredible play. Keelan Martin, though, cannot get the equalizer to drop. Butler loses a close one, 68-65. Our Rich Nye was at Hinkle for last night's game and has been.
A sold-out whiteout at Hinkle Fieldhouse and a terrific game for first place in the Big East. But Villanova's Darren Hilliard was just too good. 31 points, a career high. And he was also too open for the game-winning three-pointer.
We were switching, and when Archidiacono raised up the shoot, we kind of had 2 guys on him at that point. The kid just made a good play and found Hilliard. Obviously, he's not the guy. Certainly, we wanted to leave in that situation.
I was feeling pretty good, and I was just getting some open looks, and my teammates were finding me and setting great screens and just setting me up to make an easy play.
He's a good player. He really got it going from behind the three-point line. Just got to find a way to try to make him miss, and obviously we weren't able to do that enough.
We got a really mature group this year, and I think we'll even with the quick turnaround that we're about to have, I think we'll be very prepared. You put a lot of motion and effort into this game, and so I think that we'll be able to bounce back and be tough-minded going into Monday.
The Bulldogs have never beaten Villanova in 5 tries, but no time to mope. Butler plays at Creighton Monday night. At Hinkle Fieldhouse, I'm Rich Nye, Channel 13 Eyewitness Sports.
And a final look back to Valentine's Day 2015. Not only did we have a proposal at last night's field game, but superfans Connie West and Scott Keene, well, they agreed to be proposed, and then they were wed by ordained minister and field broadcaster Tony Brown. Field mascot Nitro serving as the best man, while Phil's pit crew serving as bridesmaids. We want to wish congratulations and a happy February 15th to Mr. and Mrs. Scott and Connie Keene. A big day for IU and Purdue. Both teams in action at home later tonight. We'll have highlights coming up on the Sports Jam. Let's look at sports. Have a great Sunday.
Jason, thanks, and some more sports now. A big show of talent last night for the annual NBA Slam Dunk Contest. It came down to Victor Oladipo and Minnesota rookie Zach LaVine. After coming out singing Sinatra's New York, New York, Oladipo threw a nasty 360 to start the show. But LaVine, he was ahead above the rest. The 19-year-old sealed his win with an off-the-post, under-the-leg dunk that got the crowd on their feet. He is the second youngest player to win the dunk contest. Kobe Bryant won at only 18 years old. Well, still ahead, the community rallies for a high school basketball coach, how they are helping Perry Meridian's Howard Ely after having a heart attack on the court.